Oh, that sound, that wonderful, glorious sound that you probably heard so much last night, along with the glug, glug, glug of the hard liquor bottles. Oh, the beautiful colors behind the bar cascading off the mirror,
Oh, the Technicolor in the bowl.
the nuts in the bowl, the pretzels, the wonderful, beautiful women
The
all around
maraschino
you.
cherries that you are eating by the handful, that you woke up in the middle of the night and thought you were dying.
Yep, and all those women that you looked at 9 o'clock, and how much better they looked at 11:30, and then even better at 1 in the morning, and then 2 o'clock at last call.
They were gone and you were dragging your drooling ass out to your car, or Uber, hopefully, if you were in that condition.
Or walking home. Hopefully went to your neighborhood bar. Yes, it is time for your Saturday morning hangover cure.
Your politically incorrect pop culture extravaganza. Sports Frenzy 2.0, baby.
He's your Uncle Dave.
He's your Uncle Kev.
And of course, each and every Saturday morning, we are here to get you through that hangover, that tough feeling that you get after a long, miserable night out. It didn't feel miserable at the time, but now it just might.
Yep, it is Saturday, July 27th as you listen to this. We are recording on the 24th.
And of course, Dave, what do we always start off with before the kids really get going with the eggs and the bacon and the coffee? What do we start them off with?
It is all about music and rock and roll, baby.
One of the few album reviews you're going to get from us here. Kind of a downtime for new music, but that's okay. We've got a lot of concert reviews coming up for you to fill in the gaps. But this week, it's all about new music, and we have the new album from Deep Purple. Equals One is on the agenda for today.
13 songs.
Yep, I'm going to be very interested to see how this goes.
So am I. This is an interesting album.
Now, I will say this. I would say, even though the album isn't overly long, even though it's 13 songs, I believe it clocks in at about 52 minutes.
Yeah.
I would have cut a couple songs down to maybe 42, and I think you would have had an extraordinary album.
Yes, there were a couple that just ran a little bit too long. Couple could have been tightened up a little bit more.
But
you probably could have knocked a song out.
Yes. Yeah, I would have knocked 2 songs out, I think.
Okay, good.
And
I'm not overreaching.
I don't know if I would have tightened up the other songs, but I would have knocked 2 songs out, probably. But that being said, I'm telling you, I don't know what my problem is, but I have been obsessed with this album and these songs, the singles, ever since they came out. Just thinking, this sounds really good for a bunch of guys who are pushing Rolling Stones age. You know, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, they are hitting it. They are staying within their wheelhouse. They're not trying to do a magnum opus crap like we've heard from a lot of bands in the last several months that we've been doing.
Nope, this is straightforward Deep Purple. I would say more circa early 80s, Perfect Strangers era, where they were trying to be a little more radio friendly. But you've got throughout the album the interplay of the heavy organ, keyboards, and the guitar meshing together really well. So again, I will just put it out there and say I like this album.
I enjoyed it.
I am not saying it is the album of the year, but I'm saying this is definitely...
this was enjoyable.
Definitely a lot better than some of the other stuff we've listened to here in 2024. I don't know if I will say I hated any songs on the album, but like we talked about, I would probably have cut If I Were You and I'll Catch You.
Yes.
Would be the 2 that I would probably...
Yes, those are the 2. I'll Catch You is the one I liked the least.
Yep. I would cut those 2 out, and I think if they had done that, this would have been a borderline 3.5 Frenzy album. As it is right now, I give it a solid 3.
It's right there at a solid 3 for sure. So I loved the opener, "Show Me."
And that opening guitar riff, I'm telling you,
It's the hook that,
it
oh
almost reminds me of off the last Van Halen album, "You and Your Blues." That riff and this riff sound very similar on "Show Me," the opening track on Equals One. I think there are a lot of nods to influences past and more recent here, especially if
yeah,
you go to jump from the beginning to the end. If you jump to Bleeding Obvious, I heard Iron Maiden and Rush
yeah,
within the first 30 seconds.
yeah.
And then
It was
later
a
on I
nice
heard
meld.
Yes. And I think Bleeding Obvious would, and I'm not saying this, they're old. I am not saying this wishing they would die. That's not what I'm saying, but they're old. Bleeding Obvious would be a very fitting song to end their career on.
I can see that.
Again, with all the influences that they have in there with the Iron Maiden, the Rush, the Yes nods, and then obviously the overall theme of the song buying into the title of the album where they're singing "It all adds up to one."
One life.
Yep. The universal
Make
one.
it what
Yep.
you can.
Yep. But there are a lot of really heavy, heavy good songs. Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter was really good.
Nope.
I like the groove from "A Bit on the Side."
Yes, yes. Where he's singing to Charlene.
Yes. That just had that 70s groove going. That
Yep. Yeah,
harkened
No Money to
back.
Burn had a wicked, wicked keyboard solo.
Yeah. I liked "Lazy Sod."
Yes, yes.
The lyrics in there they were great.
And isn't that appropriate, the lyrics for our day and age?
Yeah.
Again,
Absolutely.
yes.
So no,
Yeah,
this
the world's on fire basically around me, and I'm not going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I will tell you this. Another reason why I love this album is that number one, the first 3 singles I absolutely love. Portable Door,
Oh yeah.
Pictures of You, which I think if it was released back in the 80s would have been a huge hit. And then Lazy Sod.
Yep.
Those 3 songs are ridiculously good and catchy.
Yeah.
But the rest of the album, for the most part, very solid, very heavy.
This is not one that starts off great, peters out, comes back a little, and then drops off the earth.
No.
It's not the pattern we've been seeing.
No, this is pretty
This is-
consistent throughout. Again, track 6, If I Were You, maybe stretching Ian Gillan's voice a little too much for what he can do at his advanced stage. And then I'll Catch You as track 12, but you've spaced out the 2 weak songs.
So you're not completely breaking the rhythm of the album.
And the thing is, they are not breaking from who they are.
Right.
This is Deep Purple. Again, the guitar, organ interplay throughout. I like this album a lot. Like I said, a solid 3 Frenzies.
This was surprising to me that it was going to be
That's
this
why-
good all the way through.
That's why I was wondering. I was like, this is one where I'm kind of pushing this one on Dave. I wonder what he'll do, how he'll react to this.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it outside the 2 that we talked about.
Right.
This was solid, very enjoyable.
Yeah, and who knows how the rest of the year is going to play out. This could end up being one of the top 5 albums of the year if we don't get
It very well could be.
if we don't get something that steps up that's better.
Yeah. God, that's scary.
Well, it's like you said, we've had that pattern. You can go back to Sebastian Bach and a lot of other albums. Collective Soul overreached, should have only done 1 album instead of a double.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Black Crowes are up there fighting for album of
Black
the year
Crowes
right now.
album was really fucking good.
So we've still got Miles Kennedy and the Offspring coming in
Yep.
October.
We'll see.
Oh, by the way, new Smashing Pumpkins album coming out, believe it or not, next Friday.
Holy crap.
Yeah, talk about a lot of lead time.
Yeah, no kidding. Good grief.
But this is Billy Corgan. This is what he does. So down the road, we might have a new Smashing Pumpkins album review for you.
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, they were so good last year in concert.
Yeah.
So good.
If you go back to what they are for a standard album instead of their triple bill,
where again, if they shrunk it down to one,
they had a solid album.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, I am very happy that you like Deep Purple. I was worried.
Yeah, no, this I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah. And the one thing that's always cool about Deep Purple is how, Van Halen had the lineup changes between Dave and Sammy and Gary, and then back and back and back. Back to Dave, back to Sammy, back to Dave. Deep Purple, every lineup is Mark. Mark 1, Mark 2. I think they're on Mark 9 right now. And anytime somebody significant leaves, it's a new Mark lineup.
Yeah.
So
that's fine. They just keep on rolling.
Well, and I don't know why, but I think that's kind of cool how they recognize the different significant people, whether it's Richie Blackmore, whether it's David Coverdale. Of course, John Lord, I should mention this. The great John Lord left us a few years ago, but he had been out of the band. Obviously, one of the most significant keyboard organ players of all time. I have to give props to Don Airey, who is the guy playing the keyboards and the organ on this. He's actually been with Deep Purple for over 20 years.
Yeah, so
since Lord left. So most people think of John Lord because he was there throughout all their 70s and early 80s.
Yeah, but then you've got another guy who's come in for the longevity to finish things up and has taken on and...
Yep. And the guitar player Simon McBride is the exact opposite. He came in when Steve Morse, the previous player, legendary guitar player Steve Morse, left the band due to personal reasons. So this is his first full album.
Yeah.
Playing with Deep Purple, and I'm telling you,
he's rock freaking solid.
He is great. I give that guy credit.
He put together some wicked riffs.
Yep. Now you're talking. Especially, that's the one I had written down as especially great guitar work on that one. But I like this a lot. I've listened to it a lot over the past week. Really have.
Yeah, it's been an enjoyable run.
Yep. So again, we'll see how things play out. We still have Mr. Big sitting out there. I did listen to another song off that album, and it wasn't bad. So maybe down the road we review 10.
We'll probably get 10 in.
Yep, and then like I said, new Smashing Pumpkins. But we do have 2 new songs to review as well.
Yep. So let's go with the Cold Stairs and Blow Wind Blow.
Now this is a band that I really am happy you introduced me to, because it's got that blues. I'm a sucker for that bluesy,
the bluesy stuff, which is what
Black
drew us
Crowes,
to
Stevie Ray Vaughan, Allman Brothers. Yep.
And why we liked Rival Sons.
Yep.
And so now Cold Stairs.
And this is more of the same, more of the straightforward. You're not going to get deep thoughts. This is about your love. In this particular song, it's more about a metaphor of the weather, trying to bring your lost love back to you.
Yeah.
So that's a blues metaphor.
That's what the blues are all about.
Yep.
Lost love coming back.
Yep. Stevie Ray Vaughan Couldn't Stand the Weather.
Yeah. This is right there.
Yep.
It's a solid 3 for me.
Yeah, that's where I go to. That's what I do too. Yeah, solid 3. Cannot argue with that.
No. Cold Stairs are a band that I want to see in concert. As an opener.
Well, no, I'm giving him a look. I'm sorry, I can't do that on a podcast. I gave him because he's gonna be mad at me. He's gonna.
We had it. They were close-ish.
Last year they were at the Hi-Fi.
Yeah, that's all right. There's gonna be opportunities.
Yeah, I know. I should have said something and I didn't.
That's all right. It's okay. It's all good.
You know how I am about the concerts, though. I don't want to miss an opportunity because every time we go to a concert, you and your wife go, "Wow, that Tom Petty, he was great live." Knowing that I didn't get to see him ever before he died. Bill Lazowski, I will hate you forever for that. You're my brother, but God, I hate you for that.
Fucked us on that show.
Oh, we're not taking lawn seats.
Fuck you, pretentious bitch.
And that was back when I could actually handle lawn.
Yeah.
Now I can't. So maybe I'm being a hypocrite. I'm not looking at it
not
from his
at that
perspective. Time. So what else we got? What's our other song, Dave?
The other one is Judas Mind from Seether. I'm a Seether fan. I did not like this one. There was just something about this one that it did not feel like one of theirs. I don't know if they're trying to do something different and new. It just did not have a good sound to it.
The more I listened to it, the less I liked it.
Yes.
The first time I listened to it, I was like, this isn't bad. It's got a little bit of the screamo stuff that I hate.
Yeah,
personally.
It's like, all right, it's okay. And then I've listened, I'm like, no, I really don't. No, this is just, no. Just no.
I think I might have liked it more than you.
Yeah, it's just, I did not have a good vibe for it.
Again, outside of the little screamo parts towards the end, I didn't.
It was a little too
dislike
long,
it.
too.
Yeah, they've got two different versions out there.
I hit the 422 one, which was a bit
they've got
long.
the radio edit, and then they've got the full version.
Yeah, I listened to the full version. I probably should have stuck with the radio edit.
I will still give it a week, 2.5 frenzies.
That's where I'm at with it. A week, 2.5. But I expected more from them for
and
the
you
first.
are. I like Seether, but you're a bigger Seether fan than I am.
So
I still like them, but
yeah, but I've got issues with this one. This is a week, 2.5. It's a disappointment for the first release off the new album.
Yep. So there you go, kids. Recapping. Dave and I both give Seether's Judas Mind a week, 2.5. We both give the Cold Stares, solid 3s?
Solid 3s.
And then also Deep Purple equals 1.
Album, a solid 3.
Yep. So there you go. How much fun is it when we agree on everything like that? Well, that's
not always a lot of fun, but
but there you go. At least you've got a lot of good music to listen to here this weekend.
We've
to get
given
you
you
through.
some stuff, and maybe you might like Seether. You never know. Everybody's tastes are different.
All right, next week, when it comes to music, concert review.
Pat Benatar, baby.
Pat Benatar and her husband, Neil Giraldo.
Pat Benatar, baby.
We'll be seeing them down in Indianapolis this weekend, so of course that means you get the benefit, you get the glory of our review for your next weekend edition episode.
Because there's nothing like live music.
Nope. 2 new songs. Well, let's put 1 new song and 1 remake.
All right, what do we got?
New song. Very excited about this new song. Soul Asylum.
Woohoo!
High Road. Brand new song from them. Of course, we're going to see them in concert later on this year. Opening for STP and Live.
Yep, this will be my 3rd go with Soul Asylum.
And you guys hated them the first time.
Oh, the first time they were bad. I don't know what their problem was.
But then they were much better when we saw them open for Collective Soul and Three Doors Down.
Yeah, they redeemed themselves with that one.
That was a much shorter set.
Actually, this will be Mrs. C's 4th time seeing them. She saw them open with Screaming Trees earlier in the year before we saw them, before I saw them for the first time. So she liked them initially, did not like the second go, but her 3rd go, my second, they were solid.
Yeah, and that was when we all went.
Yeah,
and they played a little over half an hour, but it was
solid set. They sounded great.
Yep, I imagine that's what we're going to get this time because first of 3 bands, probably going to get another half an hour set.
Yeah.
But I imagine we will hear High Road, their brand new single. No news on a new album yet, though. And then
Oh God. Oh God.
it's been probably a few weeks since we've had a new song from David Lee Roth, right?
Oh sweet Lord.
Well, you did like his remake of 8675309,
It
right?
wasn't bad.
So he's dipping back into the remake well again. This time going back to the 70s, late 70s, right around 1980, right in that, for one of my personal favorite songs, Baker Street.
Really?
The old Jerry Rafferty classic.
Really?
David Lee Roth doing
Baker Street.
Yes, so let's give that
Really?
a shot for next week. Yep.
You know, surprisingly, my youngest Nick likes Baker Street.
It's an unbelievably song.
It's
That
fantastic.
song is ridiculously good. That's one of those songs I never get tired of. It's like Sultans of Swing. I never get tired of hearing those songs because there's so much going on. There's so much going on musically, lyrically. There's so many intricacies and little nuances. And Baker Street's one of those songs that I've just always loved.
I am very intrigued by that.
Yeah. Now the video that's on YouTube, because again, for some reason, his stuff goes straight to YouTube, does not go to Spotify for 2 or 3 weeks or whenever. The video is very bare bones. Basically just an animated car driving.
Down Baker Street.
No.
Over and over and over.
No. The thing is, I watched a little story for the kids and for you. After listening to it, because I've already listened to it and watched the video. After that, I actually went and watched the original video, Jerry Rafferty, in this, this grainy video of him and his band doing it in the studio. Just complete different vibe, But the execution,
we'll discuss.
Yes.
I will probably be like you, do the comparison.
Yep. I will just say this. For all the shit he gets, and a lot of the time when he does original stuff, he overreaches. I think he's very respectful of the classics. I think he's aware of where he comes from when it comes to classic rock.
Yeah, and looks at his influences with some semblance of reverence.
Yes, exactly. So keep that in mind as you listen to Baker Street from David Lee Roth. So 2 new songs and a concert review for you next week.
Yes, we will. Pat Benatar concert is a bucket list event.
Yes, and I appreciate the fact that Uncle Dave and Mrs. C are going to go.
This is one that I've been wanting to see.
I've been kind of hounding you guys for a couple of years. I know
There's a couple of
you couldn't go 1 year.
There's the
and
last
I almost
couple
went
times,
by myself.
Yeah, the last couple times have been close. I've had conflicting things going on.
Yep. Dare we hope that she's gotten over her snowflake syndrome and she will
actually get hit me with your best shot?
Yeah.
We can only hope.
It's been a few years, so maybe that's kind
God,
of...
please, there's nothing wrong with the song. Stop being woke.
It's not advocating gun violence. Jesus Christ.
No, it's more like domestic violence.
Well, here's the weird thing. She'll probably play Hell is for Children.
Hello?
About child abuse.
So why not do the anti-domestic violence? Hit me with your best shot, I'll still kick your fucking ass.
Yep.
Hello?
It's
an empowerment song.
There you go. Took the words right out of my mouth. No, we're not talking about Meatloaf. Let's move on to movies. Movies. Now, I will correct, first off, we're not going to forget this week, correct an egregious mistake from last week. Your Uncle Dave did not give you his review of Beverly Hills Cop Axel Foley. So right away,
let's knock this one out.
Tell the kids what you thought.
It was a very solid, good addition to the Axel Foley saga. I enjoyed it. It hit the points that it needed to. It got a little sappy with the family thing, but that's all right. He's older. He's reconnecting. It's what happens at this point in life when family kind of separates and needs to reconnect. Didn't mind that piece. Handled it well.
You could also say that about his friends and
Yes.
his co-workers.
Yeah. So you've got
Taggart and Billy.
Taggart and Billy and Detroit moving on. No, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Eddie was back. Axel was great. It's a solid 3.
Yeah, I do believe that's where I fell as well. Yep.
So I was not disappointed. I wasn't sure what we were going to get, but I enjoyed it.
Little more humor. Just a little bit
Needed
more
a
humor.
little bit more.
A little bit more Eddie.
A little bit more Eddie, and Bronson Pinchot a little too much. Just went a little too far with his character there.
Yep.
And we didn't need the female real estate agent. She was a little too much.
See, a lot of people think she was the highlight of the movie.
No, she was the worst part of the movie.
I'm just saying. I'm just telling
She-
you what the people
It
out
was
there are
just,
saying.
it took it away. That was a throwaway character that did nothing for me. But overall, fantastic. Needed a little more humor, but the action was there. Everything melded together. It had a great flow.
Eddie Murphy's one of
Eddie
those
is
guys that will
back
never
with that.
age.
No, black don't crack.
My God, he still looks good. He almost looks like he did 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, no, yeah, fantastic.
And of course, there is the eternal question of why they didn't release it in the theaters.
They should have, and it would have killed.
I think so. I think so.
And of course, now I think Kevin Bacon has officially been stereotyped as the bad guy.
Good. Good.
He plays a wicked villain.
I got problems with him lately. The nepotism thing with his daughter and that shitty movie Smile, you know, and then I don't even think you were here that 1 week, 3 weeks ago, was it, that you took off?
Yeah, that I wouldn't.
Yeah, little story, a little dumbass about him. He keeps telling this joke. I guess he's been telling it since 2017, and he thinks it's funny about how he goes out in public and he gets a makeup guy to make, change his facial features, and he tries to pretend to be a normal person for a day, and how it sucks to have to wait in line for his coffee, and I hate this. I really like being famous. I want to go back to being famous.
Yeah, fuck you, douchebag.
Yeah, ever since that, I have not. The
Hey,
last couple
Just
weeks,
remember Animal House. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
yeah, he's, as much as I love him and he's iconic, the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've kind of soured on him for some of the things he's done. Just saying. Just saying.
There you go.
All right, movie news. Before we get to our featured review of the week. Of course, right now, even though you are hungover, God damn it, you should get out there and see Deadpool and Wolverine. It is out in theaters right now as you are listening to this. For us taping, not quite yet, but I have heard nothing but amazing things about it.
I mean, come on. It's Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
I mean, the Easter eggs, the things I've heard in terms of who is in this, all the different references to past movies, references to Logan, the villain is ridiculously inventive. Let me just put it that way. I will not spoil it for you. I have read an article, multiple articles explain who the villain is. The villain is unbelievably cool. We all know
There
from
we
the
go.
trailer, Sabretooth. is going to make an appearance. Who is
Yeah.
Lady Deadpool? I still think it's Taylor Swift, even though Reynolds says it's not.
Blake Lively.
We shall see. We shall see, but I'm thinking this thing's going to blow up the box office this week.
It damn well better. I know we have to consider an opportunity to go. The boys are saying, when?
You might want to call your Uncle Kev.
We may
See if he
get a
wants to tag
ticket
in.
for you as we go on maybe a Monday night up
Oh, I don't know.
to a
I'm
cheap
so busy.
venue.
I'm so busy on Mondays. I don't know if I could pull that off. I mean, I'm usually watching Raw, so I
I think we'll talk you into this one.
think so.
So,
New trailers. One good, one bad. The new trailer for Joker 2. Boy, the more I see of this, the more I hate it.
ugh,
And I didn't
God.
like the first one all that much.
I didn't like the trailer for the first Joker. I didn't bother with the movie. It looked abysmally awful.
Yeah, now this one's supposedly a semi-musical.
Oh,
Of course, Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. But I'm not a big Joaquin Phoenix fan. I think he's vastly overrated as an actor. And I, again, did not like the first one all that much. So,
Yeah, they never should have done this.
but on the positive side, the new trailer has just dropped for Terrifier 3.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Even though it's coming out in October, it is set at Christmas time. So,
God.
of course, the trailer with Art the Clown doing snow angels in a pool of blood.
God,
Oh, you still haven't watched any of them yet,
I have
you?
not seen the first two yet.
Yeah. That you're gonna have to get yourself in a certain mental mindset for that.
See, I still have to get Terrifier and Terrifier 2 and X and X2 and...
No, Terrifier. Go with Terrifier. I don't think I'd worry about watching X and Pearl and Maxine. Terrifier's got, even though they're not great, they're at least, they fit with the old 70s Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Last House
Original
on the
Hills
Left.
Have Eyes.
Yeah, that twisted, demented, gory stuff that we grew up with and we loved.
All right.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm sure the boys would appreciate it as well. Oh, that Glenn Powell dude, he is on fire! Of course, Twisters ended up exceeding expectations. Over $80 million at the box
I'll
office.
wait till it streams.
Well, I will as well. But he is starting to fall into a pattern. Dare I say a rut?
No, say it ain't
Because
so.
of course he's made. Now he had that little romantic comedy with big boob Sydney Sweeney.
One of his best friends.
But of course, other than that, he has made his money on Top Gun sequel, right? Top Gun
Yep.
Maverick, and now Twisters, a reboot of Twister.
Yeah.
Well, guess what his next movie project looks like it's going to be?
God, what action adventure bullshit now.
A reboot of Backdraft.
Oh, come on!
Looks like it is next on the slate
No!
for Glenn Powell.
Just leave things alone for the love of God and all that's holy. It's bad enough Hollywood and fucking Tom Cruise are bastardizing Clint Eastwood classics.
There's still a part of me, hopes that stuff falls through. Somehow that's... Now, the Gauntlet one bothers me because if they've already got him and Scarlett Johansson supposedly locked in, that's probably going to happen. The other
Is
one...
it Tom Cruise in both of them?
Not
Oh, no,
both. Not both. No, the other one...
Oh, Gauntlet was Tom Cruise's project.
Yeah, the other one where they're talking about rebooting the Spaghetti Western trilogy, that's not Tom Cruise.
Okay.
They don't have anybody cast in that yet, but the...
Do not bastardize the trilogy of all Western trilogies.
Yeah, no, that's the one I really hope falls through. That they cannot get off the ground.
I told Nick about that, and he almost went through the roof, pissed off.
But that's one of the few that you do not touch. You do not touch those. Those are sacrosanct. Those are perfect as they are.
Leave Clint Eastwood movies alone. They do not need to be redone.
Because they're perfect as they are. And then, of course, if you care about the old TV show 24, they're supposedly making a movie about that.
Eh.
Yeah. That's about how I feel about it. I never watched the movie, never understood the everybody going gaga over it.
Yeah, didn't care.
Yeah. Didn't do much for me. I never watched it. So that was like that, and Fox had that and Prison Break at the same time. And I never got into either one of them.
Yeah, no. They're just like,
No.
whatever.
Yep. All right, so our featured movie review for the week.
We're Peacock. A sucker for horror movies, kids. You know this.
Sucker.
You like that?
That's funny. Funny. Yes. So on Peacock right now, streaming, it was in the theaters about 3 months ago, roughly. Abigail. Vampire's daughter. Can we say Dracula's daughter? It's never really technically confirmed in the movie.
No, but there's implied that it's Dracula's daughter. Young girl that Dracula turned because he wanted a daughter.
Yep. Ballerina.
Yep. The ballet stuff got a little old.
Oh, yeah. I was done with that in about 3 seconds as soon as that's the first scene you see opening the movie.
Yeah, and then it's reoccurrence. I'm like, yeah, okay, we get it, whatever.
Yep.
That was my biggest issue with it.
And now, the interesting part of the movie.
I liked the take that they did.
It's combination of a horror movie and Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
Almost.
Yeah.
You get the motley crew of
kidnapping
criminals.
Gone wrong.
Yes, and I like that angle, that take on it. And then, of course, instead of like in Reservoir Dogs, all the characters have colors for names. In this, they all get names based
from the
on
Rat Pack.
The Rat Pack. So that was a very interesting idea. And then, of course, they get tricked and double-crossed into this kidnapping that goes wrong.
And we won't give away how they got pulled in.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil too much, but it's going to be tricky to not. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, they're all interconnected in one particular way.
Yes. Yes. As they wonder why they were all brought together to form this crew, to do this kidnapping, and then end up stuck in this trap with the young female vampire. That's about as far as we should go.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I liked the new take on a vampire movie. Something different.
Where not all the rules apply.
Right. There are
some
completely
work, some don't.
Different rules.
Some of the old school rules work, some don't.
Hey, dumbass. If you're going to be a vampire, you have to be around for a while to learn all the cool tricks.
Yep.
I loved...
The cast was very good.
Cast worked brilliantly together.
Yep. I love Dan Stevens as the de facto leader. And you never knew which way. He was kind of going wherever the wind blew.
Yeah.
Sometimes it looked like he was going to be cool and help. And sometimes of course, he's going to stab people in the back. But you could say that pretty much about all the characters.
Yeah. No, I liked when the sunlight hit, the effects for that.
Well, you spoiled it, yes. That actually does work. The sunlight does work. The old school rule.
Yep. And I will say the effects with the blood, it's not bright red.
It's too much. I mean, they got.
There's a lot of blood, but it wasn't the typical bright red that you would see.
No.
They actually made it a realistic color.
No, yeah, but it was like, Jesus Christ, too much. Everybody's getting literally covered in blood every 5 minutes.
Yeah, but at least it was a realistic color.
Okay. Okay.
I'm looking
that's
at
what you're gonna focus on.
different
Okay.
things. Because I'm sick of, oh, we gotta have blood. It's gotta be the bright red.
Now, a couple little things, positive and negative. Now, of course, did you watch this with Nick, your youngest?
No, it was just Mrs. C and I.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought he would have been excited with, again, the ever-present, the omnipresent Giancarlo Esposito.
Yep, no, he was at work while we were watching this.
I know he's a big fan.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned this in the past. I cannot stand Catherine Newton. I hate her as an actress. Yes, I know she was in Supernatural. Anybody who's in Supernatural kind of gets a pass. But she has been in so much shit. So much shit over the past 3 or 4 years. I don't like her as an actress. She just irritates me.
No, there's just something that she's just, eh.
Same old, same old. The other thing about the movie that irritated me was, what's up with these saber-tooth fangs? Well, you can tell the actors and actresses are like uncomfortable. They've shoved these. What had just happened to the 2 big fangs that would suck blood? Now you got to have these like
every
a mouthful. Yeah, 32, 40 teeth. Everyone's got to be
and it just looks like
am I right though? They all looked uncomfortable.
They did. It was
wearing
ridiculously
these massive
dumb
mouthpieces, opposed to just give them the 2 traditional.
We just need 2 traditional fangs. That's all that's needed.
That's all you need to drink the blood. Ask Bela Lugosi.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
So that irritated me. That they didn't look so much like vampires. They just turned into these beasts.
Yeah, it was just bad form.
Who I did like, even though she's a terrible human being in real life. Awful human being. I think I have a massive crush on Melissa Barrera. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. Oh my God, she's gorgeous.
She's pretty.
Oh my God, and I knew she was gorgeous from the Scream movies. And I know, again, she's an awful, terrible human being. She's an anti-Semite. She basically lost her role in the next Scream movie because of it. Oh,
she's still pretty.
She is so good looking. I mean, she's got those sleepy, sexy eyes. Oh my God. She just looks so good. Oh my God. In a tight, bloody, low-hanging tank top. Oh, she's worth the price of admission right there, kids. I'm telling you. One other note before we give our final reviews. I don't know if you knew this. I kind of stumbled upon this because of the fact I thought he was so bad. The one guy in the crew, Mushmouth, the guy who could...
Oh, the
shaved head, young
shaved
kid.
head punk ass that nobody really... that we could have done without the driver.
Angus Cloud is the name of the actor. I don't know how he got into Hollywood or how he actually got these roles. He's dead. He died before the movie was released. Drug addiction.
No, color me surprised.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. You could see it.
Yeah,
in the movie.
The guy was a fucking useless.
I mean, it seemed like he wasn't acting. It seemed like that was him.
That was
slurring
who he
his speech,
was.
Acting like his brain was fried.
Because it obviously was.
Sorry, but yeah, it was. And the guy died before this movie was released from drug abuse.
Not surprised.
Just thought I would put that out there. So as you watch, it gives you a little bit of perspective on things, kids. So I will actually be a little generous with Abigail. I thought for the most part, maybe towards the end, I got a little irritated with it. You know, with the whole pinky swear crap.
There were things here and there that were Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I wasn't enamored.
The whole ballet
Right, like you
bullshit.
said, the ballet stuff comes in a little too much.
I liked the originality. I liked how what the common denominator was for the crew and the whole twist that's there. I
Yep.
thought was original and had a nice take on the vampire theme.
Yeah. No, and so even though they're completely different movies, I'll kind of compare it to Renfield for also doing the same thing and
Yeah,
having a different
something
take
new.
on the vampire. So I think I like Renfield a little bit more, but I would say it's probably just like Renfield. It's a 3, maybe a weak 3.
I have it as a week 3 as
A
well.
week 3, or maybe Renfield is a little bit more of a solid
Renfield
or a
was
strong.
a solid, strong 3.
Right. Because of course
This
you
is
had the
a
great Nicolas
weaker 3.
Cage.
Exactly.
But yeah, this is still much better. I thought it was much better than most of the horror crap we've subjected
I was
ourselves
pleasantly
to.
surprised with this one.
I was too. I did not go in
I
with.
expected the worst and came out going, you know what? That was actually pretty damn decent.
Yeah, low expectations, and
So,
actually ends up being fairly well executed.
yeah.
And again, all the shitty ones like Smile and Megan end up making
Oh my God,
70,
Megan
80.
sucked.
Yeah, they end up making 70, 80 million dollars domestic, and this one couldn't even make 30.
And this was so
This
much
was
better
better.
than those.
So much better.
That crap.
Yeah. Yeah, very sad. Very sad. All right, before we
Check
get...
out Abigail. It's worthwhile.
Yes, especially if you're like us, you're horror movie junkies. So your TV and streaming news before we get into our weekly recap and, of course, our review of The Boys Season 4. Some good news and some bad news for Uncle Dave. So let's bounce it off of him and see what he thinks.
Let's go bad news first.
They've announced the final date for the premiere of What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes, the 6th and final season. October
21st on FX, we will get 3 episodes to launch the final season. That is so fucking depressing. The last we will see of Laszlo and Guillermo and everybody that we love so much. One of the funniest shows of the last couple decades.
Come on, how can you leave Nandor? Nandor de Laurentiis.
Do we get one more Jackie Daytona?
We need Jackie Daytona to make another appearance. My God.
I'm almost upset they're dropping 3 episodes at the beginning.
At once. Why are you...
Just let us stretch it out. Let us have our last season and give us a little bit of anticipation.
I am not going to watch all 3 at once. I am going to stretch it out. I think that's what we need to do.
In this day and age where it's all instant gratification and let's drop all the episodes.
Normally I like that, but this...
Let's show like Reacher, yeah, But this is our final go-round.
We need to savor every glorious moment of the vampires.
Yes. But again, 3 episodes dropping on October the 21st. The final season of What We Do in the Shadows.
What's Nadja gonna do with her doll? What do we get from Colin Robinson?
Oh, God. So good. So good.
So good.
All right, a couple of streaming previews. It's for us to look forward to. So we have at least one of these as a potential review for us. August the 9th on Peacock, The Bike Riders will debut.
I've got no interest in The Bike Riders.
Really?
None.
Okay.
It just looks...
I'll probably watch it.
I've got no interest in it.
Tom Hardy?
I don't care.
Okay.
It just looks so fucking generic and lame.
All right.
It does nothing for me.
Then I'll watch it.
You can have it.
Well, the other one is on me because it's on Hulu and you don't have Hulu. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
That pisses me off that it's only going to Hulu.
Yep, that's going to be on Hulu August the 2nd. So I got to catch up. I got to watch the last one and then be ready for this one.
I know that pisses me off that it's only Hulu. That pisses Nick and Connor off too, especially Nick.
Now, I alluded to the fact, I think we're going way back to our sports edition, that there was going to be a little bit of a scandal, a little bit of a conspiracy involving the Olympics when it comes to TV and streaming. Something that will piss all of us off.
There's nothing new on Peacock? There's a shock.
Well, no, Dave. Because they have the Olympics, they're going to up the price of Peacock.
Oh, isn't that fucking convenient?
Yeah.
Money-grubbing, greedy bastards.
Basically, the base service, the low-level service that most of us have with the ads, is going to jump up from $6 to $8 a month. Starting, for those of us who have it, next month. But if you want to join now with the Olympics starting, you have to pay the higher price immediately.
Fuck you, NBC.
Well, see, they're being nice to us.
Fuck you, NBC.
They're going to let us watch the Olympics at the lower price. Like we give two rat fucks.
I'm not watching the Olympics at all.
I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the minute the WWE contract runs out, I am done with Peacock.
Yeah, I'm pretty much going to be done.
The only
I'm
thing
so
is
sick of the streaming greed. But you know who's not greedy? We're not greedy. This podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Apple, Overcast, Castbox, Amazon, Audible, and iHeart Sports Frenzy, baby!
Yes, and we're free. You don't have to pay to listen to us.
But we'll take any and all donations that you may want to give to us.
Yeah, unbelievable. These streaming... I'm telling you, we made this prediction. And
We fucking told you so!
Peacock will survive as long as they have WWE.
Once it's gone, bye-bye.
Max is going away. Paramount Plus is going away. I'm telling you. Amazon, unfortunately, will survive. And Netflix, of course, will survive. Outside of that, all bets are off. Pulling out the horn of disgrace for the weekend edition.
Yes, I am. Emptied out the spit, and there you go.
All right, so now I guess it's finally time to actually talk about some shows on TV and streaming.
What the hell did we watch? Oh, yeah.
We watched The Boys. We got to recap season 4 of The Boys.
Good Lord.
And the final episode, of course, very controversial.
Very, shall we say, current political.
Yeah, of course, they had to put
commentary.
The trigger warning at the beginning. And then they actually had to change the episode name. It was originally supposed to be called Assassination Run.
Yeah.
And then they basically just put up their season 4 finale.
Yeah. After, what happened at the Trump rally and the shooter and...
Yes, and Eric Kripke has been getting a little bit more political with his stuff here, so I think that was a good call on his part not to push it too far.
Yeah.
Because the actual content of the show pushes it far enough.
Yep. It takes our current political climate to a little bit of an extreme, but it's not that far of a stretch.
No, but he's just been pushing it. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying it's an observation.
Yeah.
He's been pushing it a little bit further here in season 4.
Yeah, you saw the beginnings of it early on where it was going, especially season 2.
Now, I will say this. I don't know how you felt about this. Man, the ending of this season, this final episode, episode 8, downer.
Major
downer.
downer.
Now, we all know we got season 5 coming at some point. I would imagine probably 2026 because they're looking at Gen V next year. And of course, Gen V, that group.
It's tied into this season, and how is that going to parlay in?
But big, shocking Butcher. I don't know what to make of what happened with him. Just blew me away.
Yeah.
But then everything else that happened to every other member of the boys.
Balls.
It is just depressing.
It is.
Sorry, kids. Not going to spoil the actual details, but it is a downer ending for season 4. My Lord.
About the only positive would probably be President Bobby Singer when they're in the vault as he's putting and misses and goes balls and then calls everybody an idiot.
Of course,
as an homage back to his character Bobby Singer in Supernatural.
Oh, and yes, we got a little bit of a bonus scene.
Yes, we
which
did.
Could be considered another homage, another return back to Supernatural, let's say.
Yeah, there's.
But
this was an intense freaking season, with so much going on.
Yeah, I just don't. I've heard a lot of people praise Carl Urban for the performance in the last episode, which I get, but what they did with him at the very, very end, I'm still trying to process.
That just...
But there's a very pivotal scene, again, won't spoil, very pivotal scene with him and his stepson.
That just went off the rails.
Wow, yeah, that one... That one was intense.
Oh, wow, they actually went there.
Yep. And I was okay with that, but then what they actually did with him later on, and then the whole ending is just so depressing. You know?
Yeah, the final 5 minutes just sucked the life out of you.
Yep. Not saying it's bad, but it's because, again, you know season 5 is coming, and things will get fixed
hopefully
or rectified.
We'll see where it goes.
I could see Kripke ending this whole series on a down note, but not like this. Oh my God, not like this.
This is way, yeah.
He
can't end it like this.
So I will say I enjoyed season 4, but probably not as much as past seasons. I'll give it a strong 3, Frenzies.
Very strong 3, for sure.
But I don't know if I can go 3.5 or 4 on this one.
No, there were too many...
It started slow. It did start slow.
There were some offshoots that's like, really? Why did you have to go there?
The octopus sex with the D became way too much of a storyline.
Yeah. There were just things that just went too far.
I don't like what they've done with Black Noir at all.
No, Black Noir became a joke.
And I don't like Sister Sage.
No.
Regardless of what she's done and whether she's right or wrong or whatever. And all I care about with Firecracker is I want to see her boobs. That's it.
Yeah, she's got nothing but those.
Yeah, she's kind of a one-note character in that she is this is kind of what I was getting at with Kripke going too far.
Too political.
Yes. She is basically a caricature of the far-right extreme religious right.
Pundits.
Yeah. So, again...
Probably the biggest bright spot probably is Anthony Starr playing Homelander.
I know, you've been praising him all season. Yeah.
The bipolarness that he projects from scene to scene.
Playing a megalomaniac ain't easy.
No,
and he does a great job. A great job of it.
He's fantastic with it. He saved it.
I actually want to dig up. I read that he was in a series from Cinemax way back, maybe 10, 15 years ago, called Banshee. And I kind of want to go back and watch that now. You know, he was
Yeah,
in
I've
that,
got
I
to go
guess.
find that.
Yeah, supposedly very good show. But yeah, this, I'm not trying to denigrate. Obviously, a solid 3 is a very good review, but this is kind of like how I used to look at old Van Halen when Sammy Hagar had joined the band.
Yeah.
Like Balance. I wasn't a big fan of Balance compared to the rest of the catalog, but it was always bad. Van Halen is still better than 99% of the shit that's out there.
Right.
That's how I feel about the boys.
This is that setup season for the finale, where you had to take a step back to go forward.
Yeah, I like that. That's a nice way to look at it. Very good. Very good. Now let's talk about taking multiple steps back.
Oh my God.
I don't know, kids. I don't know. Brand new show on Peacock. It looked really cool. The Roman Empire. Anthony Hopkins is the emperor.
What could go wrong?
But somehow Dave and I, talking about this before we got ready to actually sit down and do the podcast, felt simpatico talking about this show, going over our notes.
Yep, for those about to die.
Now, you do the same thing I do. I do the same thing. We got to stop this because we're mixing AC/DC with this show. It's not for those about to die. It's those about to die.
All right, whatever.
Because we're thinking about
for those about to rock. Those about to die.
I do the same thing, dude.
I know.
Look at that. Look at my notes. I had to cross out for the word "for" because I wrote it down like that.
Yeah, those about to die. The first episode. All right. Any series, you expect a full-on, drag you in, get you invested in the characters, boom, 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 boom. What felt like 2 hours into this, we paused to see how much longer we had. We had 10 minutes to go. We felt like 2 hours. It's not even an hour-long show.
Nope.
It is that slow pace.
It is very slow. Very, very slow. Not much to recommend so far. I think Dave and I agreed we're probably going to watch the second episode just to see if it gets better. It's
got to wow me because right now I'm out, Jerry.
Yeah, this is one where I will agree with you that if it doesn't get better, I'll give it 2 episodes, and that's enough of my time.
Yeah.
That's all I'm investing in.
Mrs. C and Nick are already out.
Yeah.
And they were looking forward to it as much as I was.
Yeah.
Because great premise, Anthony Hopkins. Come on.
Hey, I'm sorry, maybe I'm biased. Anything with the Roman Empire, I'm usually in on.
Yeah.
One of the most fascinating eras in history.
And this just,
You get some good redeeming qualities.
There's a lot of nice redeeming qualities.
But God help us, that's not even enough. That's not even enough.
Not even enough to save it.
No, and of course they have to check box. We get the obligatory check boxes in the first half an hour. Yep. So, if you want to delve into this, feel free. We're kind of taking the bullet for you here. Sorry, not referencing anything with the Trump assassination attempt. But we'll watch another episode and we'll let you know next week.
Yeah. So they've got a lot of making up to do.
Yep. Now, I would like to just jump in here before we move on to Moments of Silence. I have almost knocked out season 2 of Loudermilk. I really wish I could recommend this to Dave. With my criticism of the first season is the problem. Is that I almost...
That side story?
Season 2 is unbelievable. Season 2 is ridiculously good from beginning to end. Because I think they realized that side story...
Up.
The side story, and they dropped it immediately when season 2 started. The characters are nowhere to be found.
That's a good thing then. They realize their mistake.
Yeah, but that doesn't help with season one. The second half of season one gets ruined by this one stupid side story. But season two is ridiculously good. Some of the highlights of Loudermilk season two. There's an episode featuring ayahuasca, midget boxing, and the best episode of all, sloppy seconds involving the most gorgeous sex doll I've ever seen in my life. Dave showed me how to private browse. I am going to go out looking for this sex doll. I am not kidding you. One of the characters is asked to house sit. And of course, there is a locked cabinet. He finds the key for it, and he opens it up, and there is this unbelievably glorious sex doll.
Is it the Cherry 2000?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, let's just say he has multiple sessions with the sex doll. Now, of course, he has to call Loudermilk. This is Loudermilk.
How do I clean this?
Yeah. He said, why'd you call me in for this? It's like, I don't know what to do. He says, well, you had sloppy seconds with the guy's sex doll. So, no, I wore condoms.
No.
But the thing is, he's got the greatest, I'm going to spoil the line for you. Greatest line I think I've heard in years. As he's trying to explain to Loudermilk why he's obsessed with this sex doll. He says, it's like an asshole wrapped in a mouth stuck inside a vagina. It's like the turducken of sex.
Oh my God. Wow.
And I was like crying laughing. That was so funny.
The turducken of sex.
And then I will not tell you what happens later on when the guy comes back, the owner of the sex doll. But easily the funniest episode
Oh my God.
so far. So I am down
Wow.
with finishing Loudermilk. I've got one last season to go, third season. So I would recommend it, but you'd have to
through the first.
You'd have to struggle through the second half of the first season.
All right.
First half of season one, great. Sets everything up. You introduce the characters. You get to know the group, the sobriety group. Then they put in the stupid side story that ruins everything. You got to fight through that.
Yeah.
Now they're only half-hour episodes, so it's not terrible.
Easy
Then
to
once you get
through.
season two, they streamline everything. It's all great.
All right. They learned from their mistake. That's all you can hope for.
All right, now last week, boy, we thought we had a ridiculously important, monumental list of people who left us in the world of pop culture and entertainment, but this week's going to give it a run for its money. We had a comedy legend leave us this week.
Bob Newhart. Oh, God. Absolute genius in comedy. Multiple series, but the Bob Newhart Show and Newhart, with the ending of Newhart being one of the most iconic endings of any series of all time. Absolute brilliance. And Bob fully gave credit to his real life wife.
Yep.
He said, this is how you have to end it.
Yep. Completely agree. Of course, many other appearances on other shows, but most well known for his own iconic TV shows.
Yeah. And later in life, still acting, because he had guest appearances on Big Bang Theory.
Yep.
And Young Sheldon.
Yep. Wasn't he like the
Professor Proton?
Yes, there you go. Yeah. Then of course he was in Elf.
Yep. Elf, Papa Elf, and then he was in the early movies and series The Librarians.
Oh, I didn't know he was in that. Okay.
Yeah. With Noah Wyle. He
Yep.
was the original librarian that recruited Noah Wyle, and along with Jane Curtin.
Wow. Yeah, I never watched The Librarians, and I know they're still somehow dragging that one out.
There's a new
Yeah.
reincarnation of it with a couple of the actors coming back in, so it was a good family show to watch.
And of course, nothing about the fact that librarians had anything to do with.
No, it was just a good adventure.
Sure.
So,
Well, if you were into business news, Lou Dobbs is a big name. CNN and Fox Business.
yep. Whatever. But
I knew
still
the
an
name.
iconic name.
Yep, knew the name. Got 3 big ones in the world of music. Abdul Duke Fakir, who was the last surviving original member of the Four Tops. Massively successful band.
Yeah.
The Motown sound. John Mayall and the Blues Breakers, of course. John Mayall, legendary musician, passed away. And then Eddie Rosenblatt. You might not know that name, but he was the president of Geffen Records through their heyday. I believe when they were,
the offshoot.
Well, yeah, they had, he brought in Asia and brought in Sammy Hagar and, of course, eventually Guns N' Roses, all on the Geffen label. And then really sad news finally. I mean, these are all sad, but J. Michael Klein, one of the founding investors of Fandango, which is still around today, of course, now not only a ticketing service, but also merged with Vudu to be a movie streaming service as well, purchase movies. Jumped off a building in New York City, committed suicide.
Yeah, ouch.
So,
thoughts and prayers to all their families and friends.
So, of course, Dave, what time is it?
As Mr. Geller would say, it's time to pivot.
We're going to take it easy on you this week, kids. Four contestants
for the Red Foreman Dumbass of the Week award. The way these guys are screwing up their life, death would be a sweet release.
Well, let's start off with something tying into what we just talked about. We just talked about the death of John Mayall, of course, leader of the legendary Blues Breakers. Eric Clapton was involved in that for a while, I believe, after he left the Yardbirds. Once again, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame fucks up.
Say it ain't so.
Guess who is supposed to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on October the 19th? Yes, John Mayall. John Mayall was named as one of the inductees for this class with a special award, kind of like what Jimmy Buffett's getting this year, kind of what Judas Priest has gotten in the past.
These special awards are crap.
But yes, John Mayall was supposed to be part of the induction ceremony, I believe. I don't know if he was, physically incapable of it, but you would assume he would have been there at least in some capacity. But no, once again, they waited too long, and now he's dead.
I hope you're happy, Rock Hall of Fame. So Music Hall of Fame, sorry.
Yeah. So John Mayall will not be present at the October 19th induction ceremonies because he's dead. Let's talk about stacking dumbass upon dumbass.
Sure, why not? Let's build.
The best dumbasses, or the worst, I guess we should say, the worst dumbasses, week after week after week, build upon their mistakes, build upon their initial dumbassery.
It's like in finance with compound interest.
Yes. Great, Dave. Unbelievable. See, we're talking about Lou Dobbs, and all of a sudden you're acting like the heir apparent to Lou Dobbs. compound interest.
Trying to tie it all together. That's what we do.
Well, last week, of course, we mentioned how disappointed we were with Tenacious D, specifically Kyle Gass, and his comment at a show in Australia.
Yes.
About
his birthday wish.
The Trump assassination attempt. Now, his bandmate, Jack Black, who I would say the de facto leader, came out and said, I did not expect this. We're going to put the band on hold. We're going to stop all the tour dates as I reconsider what the creative future of the band is. And then Kyle Gass came out separately and...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I don't think he is, because he deleted his apology.
Oh, Kyle, you idiot.
Kyle Gass deleted that apology on Instagram about his comments.
Did he double down?
All we know is that he deleted the apology.
Oh, Kyle.
But that is not a good sign at all. Not a good sign at all.
No, it is not.
Now, you wonder, is he next thing you're going to do, going to post naked pictures of Kamala Harris on his Instagram?
No.
I think that's about the only thing she's got going for her. She's decent looking. Because she's... yeah, otherwise she is dumb as a box of rocks. I'm sorry.
Ugh.
All right, this one's kind of a mild dumbass. I don't expect you to...
She knows a thing or two because she sucked a thing or two? Is that what the story is on her?
I have just heard things that say she slept her way to where she is today. That's all I will say. Rumors and innuendos. Speculation. Not spunkulation. Speculation. The spunkulation about Kamala Harris. She's got teeth you'd really like to... No, we won't go there. This could be the leader of the free world in the next 7 months.
She's just going to have to swallow her past.
Oh, David. Oh, I take things too far and then you just have to push them even further.
What line?
All right, like I said, the next one is not really terrible, but let's put it this way. Let's preface it with this. A lot of us like things that we shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
Technically, I'll admit, I drink too much beer. I'd like to lose some weight, make myself a little bit healthier, but God help me, I gotta be able to crack a beer. So I know it's bad for me, but I still do it.
But it tastes so good.
Aubrey Plaza. Now, she's not my favorite actress. There's something about her. I admit there's some kind of a little bit of a sexual quality to her that I kind of dig, but otherwise doesn't do anything for me. Well, I guess she is a huge fan of basketball. She decided that between, I believe, the skills competition and the actual WNBA All-Star game out there in Phoenix where they played, she wanted to...
Meet Tarazi?
Oh, God. I don't want to... Diana Taurasi. I don't want... Aubrey Plaza? Okay. Diana Taurasi. Oh, God. Don't put that image in my head. That is not a good-looking lesbian. I'm sorry. And I'm usually all down. You want to put some lesbian sex images in my head? I'm okay, but...
Not there.
No, not the crew-cut flannel kind of lesbian sex. Oh, God, no. Aubrey Plaza decided that she wanted to get in on a game with, I don't know if it was some of the players or who, but tore her ACL. And guess what? That wasn't the first time. The woman has torn her ACL twice. She's the Mike Trout of celebrity basketball players. Aubrey, Give it up,
Just
baby.
stop.
You got commitments.
You are not an athlete.
You got commitments and obligations, baby. You got to act in these shows, make your money. Stop playing basketball. It's not working out for you.
No, 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 no.
Then finally, oh boy, this could be it for me. This could be the dumbass of the week. I mean, Kyle Gass, he's already dumbass of the year, pretty much.
He hosed us.
Yeah, and the Rock Hall of Fame is always.
They're always a dumbass.
But this one could be it. Aubrey Plaza, she's a dumbass, but we're trying to a public service to her. Stop playing basketball. Stop playing basketball, and stay away from Diana Taurasi. Okay. Don't let her. She's going to try to switch you over to the other team. Don't let her.
Don't let her.
Don't let her.
Don't let her.
No. All right, Dave. Now, of course, when we were growing up, one of the things, I know you're going to think, no, it wasn't one of the things I always wanted to do. But let's be honest. Most kids wanted to go to Disney World or Disneyland, right?
Sure.
Okay. One of the old school attractions at Disneyland or Disney World was the Country Bear Jamboree, right?
Yes.
Well,
it's politically correct now, kids.
They have replaced one of the iconic characters in the Country Bear Jamboree for years and years and decades. I believe 18 years at least, if not longer, probably longer.
Longer.
There was a character called Liver Lips McGrowell. They have changed his name and his appearance now, and now he is known as Romeo McGrowell. Oh, I'm sorry, 50 years. 50 years.
50 years.
I don't know why 18 was stuck in my head. 50 years. He was part of the Country Bear Jamboree. Do you know why they changed him from Liver Lips McGrowell to Romeo McGrowell?
Because liver lips is a derogatory term.
Why? Why is it derogatory, Dave?
It's racist.
It's offensive to alcoholics. So Disney decided they needed to change it. Because now we're worried about offending alcoholics. The name Liver Lips was going to be deemed offensive to alcoholics. I think that's the runaway.
That's it.
The
That's
runaway
it.
dumbass of the week.
Disney. It falls to Disney once again for fucking things up.
I'm still mad about Splash Mountain. Still mad about that. Oh, it was too much of the old school Southern crap. Brer Rabbit and all that stuff. So now let's change it. Princess and the Frog. Who the fuck remembers the movie Princess and the Frog?
Never saw it. Boys never saw it. One of those, whatever.
I don't know anybody whose kids, they go, let's watch Inside Out. Let's watch Toy Story. Let's watch Monsters, Inc. Nobody goes, let's watch The Princess and the Frog. Because it was one of the least memorable Disney movies in the last 40 fucking years. But you take an iconic ride like Splash Mountain and go, it's offensive because it's kind of based on Song of the South. Oh my God, Song of the South. Can't even mention Song of the South. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay.
My oh my.
Disney in every way. How about that? I loved Song of the South. It was heartbreaking. It was sad. Great music. And they took it away from us. Woke Disney.
Because you can't learn from what happened. If you do not learn about history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yeah, if you do not learn from the mistakes of the past, you are doomed to repeat them. But no, let's just tear down statues and get rid of Song of the South.
Let's just ignore everything and make things even worse.
I'm waiting for them to come back again. They tried a few years ago, waiting for them to come back again at Gone with the Wind. and try to get that canceled.
It happened. Deal with it.
So, to leave you on that sunny, happy note as you nurse your hangover, that's your Uncle Dave.
That's your Uncle Kev.
We told you what's coming up next week in terms of music. Otherwise, I'm going to watch Loudermilk. We'll suffer through another episode of Those About to Die. Hopefully we don't suffer. Hopefully it gets better.
It picks up. We'll see.
In terms of movies,
we'll figure something out.
I got tons I got to catch up on, so Dave's going to have a story time.
Story time next week.
Yep.
Very good story time.
Delayed from this week. Was supposed to be this week, but delayed to next week. So
technical difficulties. Literally, the internet went out with 40 minutes to go, so
yep.
It happens.
Yep. So we'll have you covered next week, a full slate.
Hope to have a book review.
Yep. Because, of course, Dave's got to get to his goal of 427 books by the end of the year.
It's not even going to be close.
I am actually a quarter of the way through Eruption.
Ah, there we go.
Yes. So far, a quick read. Not bad. At least I compare it to the slog that I went through with Extinction.
Okay.
And where you told me I should have stuck with it, it gets better later on. And
there's a point where it turns. It's
but that's
still
when
not
Cleat
fantastic,
came out, so I wanted to read Cleat. Eruption handles things much better than Extinction.
Good.
Where it almost reads to this point like a screenplay turned into a book. So at least it keeps the action flowing.
And that's usually what Crichton did.
Yeah, it does. It does feel so far a quarter of the way through like a Crichton book. I'm not getting a lot of the Patterson
drivel.
Yes. Ugh. Yes. So far, it seems like it's fairly close to what you would expect from an old Michael Crichton novel.
All right.
So, not bad so far. Not bad. Hopefully, this will stay good. And hopefully, Those About to Die will get good. But until then, 7 days from now, your next weekend hangover cure with your Uncle Dave and your Uncle Kev. And if you care about sports, if you love sports like we do, football season just around the corner.
Or if you just like our ranting and raving.
Yeah, because we do this about sports too. Really doesn't change.
No, it's still your politically incorrect sports commentary.
Dropping every Thursday morning. So don't forget to check that out as well. But if not, okay, it's your fault, your loss. We'll be back here in 7 days to do this all over again.
Help you get through your drunken stupor.
Yep. Say goodnight to the kids, Dave.
Good night to the kids, Dave.